My next guest is the president of the XFC promotion, and of course, it is Myron Molotky here, and I appreciate the time, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me aboard.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And you just wrapped up a really impressive event. XFC 43 went down in Atlanta, Georgia on November the 11th. So just a few short days ago. All in all, now that it's all said and done, how pleased are you with the way that the event wrapped up?
You know, it's been great. A lot of positive feedback. I think the XFC team, fighters, just flawless execution through the whole event, especially the challenging times that we have. I'm looking forward. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had a chance to replay it, but looking forward to sitting back and, seeing it from the fans' eyes.
Yeah, so you must have been at the venue the night of the event, though, correct?
I was, of course, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so the co-main event and the main event both went to decisions, split decisions at that. So very close fight, some interesting and really good matchmaking there by your team. Do you feel like the judges got it right and the two right people there, Andre and Danielle, won?
I think so. I thought Jessica and Danielle was right on the edge right there. Really didn't know what to expect till the scorecards came through. With Guilherme and Andre, I'll tell you what, both those kids just put up a battle. And, I think the judges got it right. I think Andre did exactly what he planned on doing, exactly what he told me he was going to do prior to the fight. So earned a great decision there.
You really signed a lot of big names here for your promotion. I mean, Andre Soukhamthath, Danielle, her opponent. You got Bobby Nash, Holobaugh, Kenneth Cross, Scott Hudson. You got a ton of big names here. How important was it for you to get these marquee names to really, elevate your promotion and get more eyes on this event?
Well, it's funny. We didn't go into it. The marching orders I gave the matchmakers wasn't necessarily the big name. Okay, it was more the style of fighting where we knew the consistency of what they produced throughout their careers would show up in the hexagon. When we were in Brazil, our fights 1 through 12 were absolutely off the hook. From the first fight through the main event, and that's what we absolutely demanded of our matchmakers going into this event.
And so this was the relaunch event here. What was the goal heading into this event? And do you feel like this was a good first step for you to really take the promotion here to the next level?
We do. It's from a relaunch standpoint, we really felt that we were able to show, first of all, the XFC business model. We wanted to show the young guns, which are the rising stars, the kids just entering their pro careers or limited experience. From our standpoint, you saw it, right? From the main card, Austin Bashi, Enzo Perez, that's the future of MMA right there. And then, of course, our tournament, it's always tough. Bobby Nash reminded me, hey, I should have had him on the main card. And he absolutely showed why. And we talked about it in the fighter meeting. Hey, if you disagree, show me, okay? Make me put you on the televised portion next time around. So.
It's really interesting too. I've interviewed Bobby Nash in the past, and he's a guy obviously that was in the UFC. And to me, I haven't spoke to him recently, but it seems like he's got a chip on his shoulder. Is it good to have someone like that who was at the highest of levels? I guess if you want to say it, as far as promotions go, the UFC is the alpha dog in the room. But like, do you like having someone like that that's hungry, that really wants to get out there and prove to the world that they're the best, and they need to be fighting for your promotion, which is one of the best promotions in the world?
Absolutely. Bobby Nash is just a great example. I don't think the world really saw the real Bobby Nash when he entered in with UFC, but he certainly came out, like you said, chip on his shoulder. This is a kid that's ideal for the XFC because he just brings the fireworks. He knows exactly what's expected when you get inside the hexagon. And that's what we demand of our athletes. When they enter that hexagon, it's fireworks. We're not kicking back, making sure we don't lose this fight, playing it safe. It's just going for it and all hell breaking loose. So.
Well, and I think it goes without saying too, Myron, that MMA is clearly the fastest growing sport in the world. When you look at the big players as far as promotions go, obviously, you know, like I mentioned, UFC, you got Bellator. There's a handful of other big promotions, and you guys are right in that group there. Where do you feel like the trajectory of everything is going, and how do you kind of balance that with competing with those promotions that, you know, maybe have a little bit more steam behind them as of right now?
Well, you know, when we were in Brazil, we were right up, mentioned top three, top four in the world at that time. And I think it was based on the results of our athletes inside the cage, right? We built the brand hard, fast. So we're real excited with what we have. We're not trying to be anyone else, you know. A lot of respect for the UFC, of course, what they've built and what they have going on. But other than that, you know, nothing more to say than we don't feel we take a backseat to anyone with what we produce inside that hexagon.
For sure. Now, I'm really curious to hear about how difficult it was for you just to put on this event. As we know, the COVID-19 pandemic has been just, I mean, unprecedented times that we're all living through right now. How hard was it to actually, you know, cross all your T's, dot all your I's, make sure that you have everything in order, keep the athletes safe, and get an event off and do it in a safe manner?
You know, obviously, just a whole different world, especially our last event was 4.5, 5 years ago. Much different putting one on this time. We were looking at launching in July, and of course, right in the middle of that, the pandemic, no one really knowing what's going on. And we just got to the point with November, we said, hey, we're going to get this done. You know, fans, no fans. We're going to get these athletes busy, relaunch this brand, you know, get our fans back in our corner, following us, behind us. And, you know, the athletes bought into it, the entire XFC staff did. We flew in so many people. I think we had just under 200 COVID tests run. And before anyone even got to Atlanta, they had to produce their COVID results before we even actually brought them in days before. And of course, we followed all the protocols. Everyone bought into our bubble that we created there. And it was great. Not one person challenged the system. Not one didn't want to follow what we were doing. They understood why. You know, a lot of it obviously keeping everyone safe, but on the other side also just the eyeballs on you, you know, making sure that there were no holes there, that people could say, hey, we were careless or, you know, didn't follow protocols.
For sure. And obviously, I got to assume that means athletes and everyone within the bubble wearing a mask and maybe maintaining 6 feet distance. How did you kind of stay on top of that and make sure that everyone was following the right protocols here?
Well, you know, you have to go really to Atlanta in general and the hotel we stayed at. You know, the staff there did a great job, and we pretty much own that hotel. We were there. You know, it was complete XFC inside. They had other guests as well, but you know, everyone was very intelligent with how they handled themselves in the more public areas of the hotel.
So XFC 44, are you planning to stay right in Atlanta, Georgia, or are you guys going to venture elsewhere?
You know, we're exploring other venues right now. A lot of it is trying to figure out, you know, what's going on. There's been some recent lockdowns, especially here in the Midwest, that we're seeing. So we're going to do a Young Guns event in January, and we're exploring different options with where we're going to take this because we really want to get these kids busy. Through the Michigan tryouts, the Atlanta tryouts, we identified some young kids. And of course, you know, as soon as you announce you're on NBC Sports, you know, every manager, coach, fighter is calling you, wants to be a part of this. So we're excited to get the Young Guns going in January, and of course February, XFC 44. Atlanta is still in play, but we're also taking a look at a couple other opportunities that have come up to us. So.
Is there an age cutoff for that Young Guns, I guess, tournament or what you're looking for to do there? Do you feel like anything over a certain age wouldn't really fit into that idea that you have?
Well, a lot depends on the commissions. You know, 18 years and up is really what we're looking for. Obviously, able to fight in a pro event at 18 years and up. You know, and we don't want to rush these kids. You know, the Young Guns is a development league. So this is not a rush, put them out in front of, you know, a bunch of people and rolling the dice with them. We're going to try to manage their careers properly. You know, there's not going to be short notice fights where they're not going to fight out of their weight class. We're going to stop them from hurting themselves or their managers from hurting them. just to make sure that we create these opportunities. We had 2 Young Guns matches in XFC 43. We had a kid, Nick Horton took a loss in his first fight, but we believe in Nick, and Nick's going to get another opportunity at the next Young Guns event. And then also Enzo Perez, who put on just a great show against Austin Bashi. Both those kids. So proud of them. We made sure with their managers, their coaches, the fighters themselves, I didn't want to put additional pressure on them, putting them on national television. But as you saw, both of them handled it very well. I could have been the worst president in the history of combat sports by rolling the dice and putting a couple kids on there. But it just goes to show you how much we really believe in what these kids are and who they're going to be in the future.
Is there 1 or 2 athletes that really stood out to you from this XFC 43 card?
The 2 I just mentioned, Enzo and Austin, I thought they were in the running for fight of the night. Andre, my God, how much more of an exciting fighter can you ask to get inside the cage? Danielle going in there banging. Hey, and how about Jessica? Had a little bit of time off, and she came in and, again, another fight that could have gone either way. So very, very exciting. Kurt Holobaugh, looking for to get back in the win column and finish that one. I was 26, 27 seconds. A great performance. I know he's excited, and for a guy that's been around and fought for other promotions, ask him today. How do you feel about XFC?
Yeah, I'm actually interviewing him right after I get done talking with you.
What there you go.
Feel like his future is like with the promotion? Obviously, huge, impressive win. Guy that was in the UFC that fought nothing but studs. Like, where do you feel like he's going to be in this next fight? Because he'll be in the semifinals for the lightweight tournament.
He will be, and you know what? This whole bracket, I think everything I'm hearing from journalists like yourself and of course the fans. That's a wicked bracket that he's in. I mean, there's killers across the board. And again, some fighters maybe a lot of fans haven't heard of, but you'll know their name as they make their way through this tournament. And Kurt's got it tough. I think you ask any of the athletes, and you're going to ask Kurt today, he feels he's the front runner. He feels he's the guy that's going to take the tournament. But, he's got 3 other guys left in that bracket that they feel exactly the same way. And Kurt, like you said, he went through murderer's row in his last promotion. And, he's a good kid. I think when we take a look at these fighters, especially as we're signing free agents who have, been there, done that, they've seen it all, they're looking for a home. And I think what they're looking for is what we provide. And we respect our fighters. We make sure that, they feel that they're part of this group. And as you might have already heard, we're making them owners in this promotion as well. We're giving shares to everyone that fights inside the hexagon, creating an opportunity for their retirement to build wealth and really be a part of something really big that we're building.
That's truly amazing. I tip my hat to you there. That's very cool that you guys are doing that. Now, mistake me, I don't want to be wrong here, but right now you have 3 different tournaments going, right? 135, 155, and 170.
No, we just kicked off the 55s and 70s this last event. We're going to add on XFC 44, you're going to see another division come in. We're looking at the women's 115, and we're also looking at the men's 35, because as you can see, we're starting to assemble a hell of a 35 roster right now. So I think we're going to have to really back that up with a good tournament spread.
For sure. Well, that's great to hear. And I understand that you're a former hockey player. When you look at mixed martial artists versus, hockey players or, football players, like, who's the toughest? And I know you might be a little biased coming from that background, and now here you are, the president of this MMA promotion. But when you look at the nuts and bolts of it, who are the tougher athletes here?
There's no question. That question's great. I don't think there's a hockey player that exists that's going to say that they're tougher than an MMA fighter. I mean, it would be ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, tougher in different areas, right? Hockey players are just badass. MMA fighters are badass. But when you really take a look at it, to me, as I deal with these athletes, they're the same kids. I mean, growing up through martial arts, at one degree or another, they respect each other. You see the tattoos and the crazy hair and the expressions and stuff during the weigh-ins and things like that. But they're all great kids. I love them all. and the respect for each other is real. And that's the same with hockey. I think you go across the sport of hockey, these kids are, just seem to have that humble side to them, but a vicious athlete inside.
Who is your hockey team? I see the jersey behind you, but who's the team you grew up cheering for?
It's well, I grew up in Philly, so I'm a Broad Street Bullies, Philadelphia fan through and through. But the Red Wings have really been fortunate to get to know a lot of the guys, especially when they were young kids just breaking in, and followed the Red Wings for many years.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a hockey junkie like yourself, but I do understand that the NHL would play a lot of games on NBC Sports. So how cool is it right now to have your promotion on NBC Sports?
It's the gold standard. If you could just pick any broadcaster to be a part of, and believe me, we've had so many broadcasters even joining the last couple of days before we launched 43. So we had broadcasters spread throughout the world in countries I can't even pronounce, right? But NBC Sports has been fantastic. Love dealing with their executive team. It's all straightforward, hands on the table. And that's really the way a relationship should be. And I think they feel the same about us. They had I would say, a bad experience in the past with MMA. So it took a little while for us to warm up to each other and really understand each other. But we delivered exactly what we told them they would, or that we would, and they did exactly the same. And we're going to continue working on building that relationship.
No, that's fantastic. I'm really excited for your promotion in the future of it. You guys clearly are doing all of the right things and pressing all the right buttons right now. XFC 43 was a fantastic event in Atlanta, Georgia. And again, Myron Molotky, XFC President, I very much appreciate the time. Before I let you go, if you did want to plug anything as far as promoting your promotion, the floor is yours.
Hey, just real simple. Find us on xfcmma.net. All kinds of news rolling through there, lots of press releases coming out. It's been an absolute gong show. Watching, the media jumping in. We appreciate all your support too. I really feel so warmly received by everyone, especially in your industry. And again, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, sir. Look forward to doing it again soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ryan.